Thank you, Julie. Just beautiful. All right, my name is Dodson. I'm your platform assistant today. I want to welcome everyone to First Unity Church of St. Louis. And whether you're here with us in person or if you're watching online, safe and tucked in at home, we sure are glad you're here. We know that you're going to take something wonderful away and be enriched in all parts of your life from today's service. I want to especially thank all the ushers and greeters. So many people volunteer every week to make sure the place is clean and that we all stay safe and stay 6 feet apart. And we really do appreciate everyone's help in staying safe by keeping 6 feet apart and keeping a mask over your nose and mouth the whole time while we're in here, and we can keep coming together. So we appreciate that. If anybody is an usher or greeter, please give them a round of applause. Raise your hand. Thank you all. Also want to thank Dennis Reese today he's our videographer of the day. So thank you, Reese. Also want to mention for safety, when service is over and you've exited the sanctuary, we appreciate if you go straight to your cars and head on home. All right. Have a few announcements today. Today is our final day for the school supply drive. So we've had a lot of donations so far, and if you would like to leave any kind of books or pencils, or not books, but notebooks, pencils, anything you dropped off. They're out front by the door. We're also taking monetary donations today, so today will be the last day for that. So we've had to postpone a lot of our events, but we are having our Unity World Day of Prayer on September 10th. Make sure you mark your calendar for that. Unity has a new theme this year called From Fear to Faith, which I think is a great theme for this year. All activities at Unity Village are virtual this year. So if you'd like to find out more about what Unity Village is doing virtually, just Google Unity World Day of Prayer 2020, and you'll find out more. So we, as First Unity Church of St. Louis, will also be participating. We'll have the sanctuary open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. You're welcome to come anytime you like. We'll have 2 chaplains here at all times. You can pray with someone if you like in person, or you can just come and sit and stay in silent prayer. Just pray in silent prayer, meditate if you care to. And we always enjoy having every uplifting heart on World Day of Prayer. Or if you'd like, you can do that from home and join us in heart and spirit. We'll also be holding a brief silent unity prayer service at the top of each hour. So you can come and listen to that and join in the affirmations. So we'd love to see you. If you want more information, please look at our Facebook page or our website. Do make sure you look in your email for our new newsletter. September-October newsletter just came out yesterday. A lot of great articles in there and some great pictures of all of us from while we've been social distancing, so people can see what it's like, to come to church with masks on and stay 6 feet apart. Really appreciate Patricia Reese's creativity and hard work on this. So round of applause for Patricia. Thank you. Finally, we're looking for one more volunteer for the videography ministry. After training, you'll be asked to do the videography one Sunday per month. So if you're interested in that, please see or email Kathy Boyd. If you need help finding her contact information, please let us know. And Kathy's up there in the balcony, just waving in case you want to see who she is. Alrighty. So today, we'll be having our very own licensed Unity teacher, Anne Hartupee, who will be speaking today. Jan's having a much-needed vacation day. So we send her blessings and welcome Anne. But first, we're going to have our prayer chaplain do the daily word. Today's chaplain is Baugh.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Baugh. Gladys Young and myself have the honor of being the prayer chaplains today. And we will be in the back corners of the sanctuary after the service today. We sincerely invite each and every one of you to come back and share any concerns, any prayers that you might be wanting today. In accord with our new format here, when the usher comes to dismiss you, just tell the usher that you want to stay in your seat for a while because you're going to be going and praying with the chaplain after the service. And remember, all concerns and prayers shared with a prayer chaplain are held in strictest confidence. Our word today is light. The light of God surrounds me. Would you repeat that with me, please? The light of God surrounds me. When darkness casts shadows in my life, or in the life of someone I care about, I call upon the divine light that lives within me and expresses as me. Just as the light of the sun illuminates the sky, The light of God illuminates my mind, brightens my soul, and warms my heart. Even during life's darkest moments, the light of God is always shining within me, just as it shines within all people. Basking in this light, I find the strength and power to lift myself up. Through acts of service and loving kindness, I can be the light that helps guide others through any darkness they may be facing. Every smile, kind word, thoughtful deed, or offer of help has the potential to brighten someone's day. And from Psalms 112, verse 4, they rise in the darkness as a light for the upright. They are gracious, merciful, and righteous. So please turn your attention, focus inward, let yourself be centered and present as I read the following affirmation. I hold the world and all beings in the light of peace and love. Guarding my thoughts, I choose compassion. Measuring my words, I choose encouragement. Preparing my actions, I choose kindness. I am one with the spirit of peace and love. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. So good to see you. So I've had a lot of questions lately. What on earth did you do? Well, recently, I had knee surgery to repair damage from a fall I had back in November while playing with my grandson. In an instant, I went from running and laughing with him to my hands and knees on our sidewalk. Because of the pandemic, a diagnosis and treatment were really stretched out. I was close to a diagnosis in February, and then the pandemic came. It was challenging to be patient and understanding with the long wait to return to the doctor. And if I'm totally honest with you, there were times of adamant frustration and even a little self-pity. So today I'd like to share with you some things about consciousness that I learned from this experience. The revealing word, a dictionary of metaphysical terms, defines consciousness as the sense of awareness, of knowing. This knowing is our capacity to transcend our intellectual knowledge. It's just a feeling that we know that we know. For example, in certain weather conditions, you say, man, the day is blistering hot. You're conscious of the heat. When you enter a dark room, you are conscious of the darkness. And when you turn on the light, you're conscious of the light. These are physical examples of consciousness and very easy for us to see. But you also may be conscious of things the senses can't report. And Reverend Jan's lessons over the past few weeks have talked about some of these things. She talked about courage, compassion, being connected, feeling like we're enough, and forgiving ourselves and others. The sources of these feelings may be so remote from our perception that we can't determine where the feelings began. When our consciousness is not associated with physical sources, we're more fully identified with our mind than when our consciousness is associated with an object presented by our physical senses. In this instance, our mind is conscious only of a state that it has produced. Some call this thought reactions. For example, sensations of pain from a burn by a match are repeated in your mind at the sight of a match. I read about a teacher once who explained how we carry around our thought reactions. The teacher walked around the room while teaching. As she raised a glass of water, some students expected they'd be asked the half-empty, half-full question. Instead, with a smile, she asked, "How heavy is this glass of water?" Well, the answers ranged everywhere from 8 ounces to 20 ounces. But she replied, the absolute weight doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold it. If I hold it for a minute, it's not a problem. If I hold it for an hour, I'm going to get a little bit of an ache in my arm. If I hold it for a day, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. In each case, the weight of the glass doesn't change, but the longer I hold it, the heavier it becomes. She continued, the stresses and worries in life are like this glass of water. Think about them for a while and nothing happens. Think about them a bit longer and they begin to hurt. And if you think about them all day long, you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Often, our thoughts take on a life of their own in the mental dialogue going on inside our heads. Have you ever noticed this? If you have, you may also realize it never stops. The voice just keeps going on and on. Have you ever wondered why it talks in there? How does it decide what to say and when to say it? How much of what it says turns out to be true? How much of what it says is even that important? And if right now you're hearing the voice say, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't have a voice inside my head. That's the voice we're talking about. If you've read the book, The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer, you may recognize some of these questions. Mr. Singer stresses how the voice inside our head has a big influence on the thoughts we hold in mind and ultimately our consciousness. I like to think of our level of awareness as who you are, because this is what others see or hear in our reaction or response to situations. Our way shower, Jesus Christ, and his disciples also spend a lot of time teaching their followers about paying attention to their thoughts. The New Testament is full of Bible verses about directing our thoughts. One such verse that you're probably familiar with is Philippians chapter 4, verses 8 and 9. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. It's so tough to think about what is true, honorable, and worthy of praise when the voice in our head is reciting everything that's wrong in the world and in our individual life experiences. To complicate things even more, many of us believe that spirituality is meant to bring harmony and peace, but the diversity of our beliefs, concepts, and views about spiritual matters often leads to confusion or even conflict. Our very efforts to develop spirituality can cause notions of success and failure, and these thoughts then bind us to our own self-judgments. Thoughts like, am I growing? Have I done anything wrong? Am I meditating enough? Michael Singer said in a recent interview, truth is only complicated because we pass it through our habitual thought patterns. So when we step back from ourselves, truth becomes simple. There are not many paths to freedom. There is only one. In the end, no matter what particular patterns of thought we have managed to build in our minds, freedom always means transcending these personal thought patterns. How do we go about transcending the personal self and awakening spiritual freedom? How do we think about whatever is pure, lovely, commendable, and worthy of praise? The first step is to realize who's there, who's showing up inside. There is a voice talking, and there is you who notices the voice is talking. It's important to spiritual growth and raising our level of awareness that we realize we are not the voice of the mind. We are the one who hears it. We are the one who takes a step back and notices that it's talking without allowing it to affect our consciousness. This practice of detachment is essential to awakening spiritual freedom. We also need to remain aware of the law of mind action. This law is usually said this way: thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. But a more precise and accurate way of saying this is thoughts held in mind with feeling produce more thoughts with feeling of the same kind in mind. When we hold a thought in mind with feeling, we are giving that thought life in our mind. And when we hang on tight to a thought in mind, we are desiring that thought. By observing our thoughts with detachment and not buying into each one as truth, we can transcend our personal self and develop the spiritual freedom to determine who is showing up inside. We each have different experiences in our life journey, and we are each provided many opportunities to dig deep and become more aware of who is showing up inside. I've learned that the voice in my head thrives on whatever my attention chooses to give it. The thoughts we hold in mind with feeling do affect our consciousness and life experience. When you feel things getting overwhelming or out of control, push, pause. Take a step back and observe your thoughts and feelings objectively. Then gently let go of them rather than anchoring yourself in them, so that you're able to embrace the best of who you are, the real you. Then, whatever is true, honorable, just, or pure, whatever is lovely or commendable, if there is any excellence, anything worthy of praise, we can think about these things. We can practice these things, and in the process, may the God of peace be with you. So let's take a moment now to say our statement about the divine and limitless possibilities for our lives together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and at work in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is.
There's a holy hush around us as God's glory fills the place. I've touched the hem of His garment. I can almost see His face, and my heart is overflowing with the fullness of His joy. I know without a doubt that I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the rush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
I invite you now, if you're comfortable, to close your outer eyes. Take a deep, centering breath. Still your mind, quiet your heart, and open your spirit to the truth within. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a few seconds. And then breathe out slowly. Consciously slowing your breathing with each breath. Your body becomes more relaxed and your mind becomes clearer and more focused. In this process, you renew your mind and you are transformed. You claim your divine identity and your oneness with God. All that God is, you are. Perfect peace fills your heart as you rest in this truth. I am kind. I am loving. I am strong. I am wise. Limiting thoughts, though familiar and even comforting, no longer have power over you. You turn your attention from any negative or distracting energies and focus on new potential and unlimited possibilities. Embracing the work of inner change, you are transformed. With courage and confidence, you step into a new way of thinking and a new way of being. Divine wisdom, power, and order are made real as you choose thoughts, words, and actions that bring forth only good. You are transformed as you gently let go of thoughts of lack or limitation. Your mind is renewed, and you live the highest truth of perfect harmonizing, unifying love for yourself and all others. This sacred truth takes hold deep within your spirit. As you take a few moments in the silence, know that you are not the thoughts that float across your mind. You are the one noticing them. So gently let them go and rest quietly in space between them. As you gently bring your attention back to this now moment, you remain anchored in the wisdom of your divine being. You embrace the best expression of who you have come here to be. And so it is. And so we joyously allow it to be as we say, Amen.
When I rule my world, every day is like the first day of spring. Every heart has such a new song to sing, and I sing of the joy every morning can bring. When we rule our world, every heart is just as free as a bird. Every voice is such a voice to be heard. Take my word, I have treasured each day that occurred. It's God's word, and it's a beautiful place where love can weave such wonderful dreams. So our world can have a smile on its face, like the man in the moonlight when the moon beams. Together with God, I can share with all the world as a friend. I'll have happiness that no one could end. So my friend, just let God into your world. How your spirit would be held up high. You'll see sunshine each day in your sky. You'll feel better to know you and God rule your
All right. I can't wait till Dean can come back with us in person. He's so great. One other little thing I wanted to mention. Where my prop went. Here it is. Regarding Unity World Day of Prayer, we do have prayer request slips out in the lobby. So if you want, you can take one with you and fill it out at home, bring it back next week, and it would go into the wooden box right next to the big bucket where we put our donations. You keep the yellow one and give us the white one, and then we're all praying together for your prayer request. Alrighty, so now we come to the part of our service where it's time to pause and reflect and give thanks for all of our blessings, the blessing of your presence, whether you're here with us or online. We really appreciate you. And your gifts of support, your donations are always so very much appreciated. Now it's the time. Let's say our offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And now we'll have our closing music, after which we'd appreciate if you'd remain seated, and the ushers will let you know when it's okay for you to exit. And if you would like to pray with a chaplain, just signal the usher and remain seated until the sanctuary is clear. We really appreciate everyone helping everyone stay safe. So now we'll have our final music with Julie Goede, accompanied by Anne Hartupee. All right, thank you, ladies.